Hey everybody, it's Kyle. You know, yesterday I did a video about me losing my temper with my son and regaining my composure very quickly, but it got me some feedback from some people who somehow think that I want to describe this right, a calm, cool, collected individual who doesn't have much of a temper, or, you know, one of those personalities that's laid back and well, I have to tell you, I'm not. And that's why this is so powerful, because I am the exact opposite of that. Growing up, I would have just as soon dropped you like a sack of dirt than had any patience with you at all if we got into an argument or a discussion. And to illustrate that, I want to tell you about a story about when I was about 20 or so, and I was driving home from a friend's house one evening. And when I was about 20, I used to like to stop at a 7-Eleven near my home and go in and get a bottle of Dr. Pepper and those 2 Hostess cupcakes. You know, the chocolate ones with the little white frost, the little white gidget across the top of them, then in a 2-pack. That was me, okay? I did that probably 3 times a week. A Dr. Pepper in a bottle. And back then, this is probably 1985, 86, 87, it came in a glass bottle. Well, I drove a 1966 Carmen Ghia, a Volkswagen. If you don't know what that is, look it up. And because I was broke and it was the only thing I could afford. And I remember one evening, stopping at the 7-Eleven on my way home to get my Dr. Pepper and my cupcake. Well, I lived in a kind of a rough neighborhood, and it wasn't unusual for there to be violence or the threat of violence around me. And I learned to handle myself pretty well. And the fact that I had a pretty bad temper didn't really help me get out of trouble a lot of times. Well, on this occasion, I pulled into the parking lot. I walked inside. I locked my car. I walked inside, and I walked back out with my Dr. Pepper and my cupcakes. And a kid walked up behind me. I say kid, he was probably the same age as me, maybe a little older. And he tried to rob me. And I had my back to him. I was setting my Dr. Pepper down to unlock the door, and I set my Dr. Pepper down on the top of the car, and he said, "Hey, give me your money." And I turned around and I saw him. And he wasn't much bigger than me. He was about my size. And I said, this will tell you how crazy I was. I said, "You got a gun?" And he screamed at me, "No." I said, "You got a knife?" And he screamed at me, "No." And I just got so mad that some idiot would try to rob me without a gun or a knife. So I said, "Well, hold on. And I was just getting so mad, right? I had a temper, a bad temper. So I turned back around and I grabbed the bottle. Remember, it was a glass bottle. And I spun around and cracked him right across his head with it and commenced to beating him down. Now, I'm not proud of this, but I was so angry, and I just tipped I had such a bad temper that if you tried to challenge me, I would hurt you. And so I beat this kid down. I don't know if he's a kid or a man. I don't know how old he was. And I was so mad. Basically, I got him in a situation where he wasn't moving much. And so I was so mad, I flipped him over and took $6 out of his pocket. Now, again, I'm not proud of this, but I want to illustrate to you the fact that there was a time in my life, even after we got married, that I had a horrible temper. And I've been known to snap now. But the reason I'm telling you that is to let you know I'm not a passive, laid-back individual by nature. That's not who I am. And if I can manage my temper properly, and if I can create strategies that allow me to do that allow me to pop into a more productive state very quickly, then anybody can. I'm telling you right now, I could tell you story after story, and if you want to talk with me sometime, let me know. I've got story after story of me losing my temper and getting into all kinds of trouble. So I want you to know, if I can do it, you can do it. You just need the right strategies. The same strategies that we implemented into our family that helped me, the guy with a horrible temper, manage himself in a way that's best for my kid. So don't think I'm one of these passive guys that sits back and takes stuff. Not the way it works for me. You can probably see it in my eyes right now. That's not who I am. but I am the guy who knows when my kids are at their worst, they need me at my best. And so I've developed strategies that I can plug into and that work for me to do that for my children and my family. If I can do it, you can do it. Have a great day. Let me know how I can help you. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.